What's up, everyone? I'm Candice Evans. I'm wearing a bucket hat, and I'm repping our favorite ninja from the Hidden Leaf Village, Naruto, and we are bringing you Hoops and Chill live from my house. Happy 2020, everybody. It's almost over. Hope you're getting through it. We have a really fun episode. We have top-rated freshmen Alyssa Munn and Brooke Rogers from Academy of the Arts joining us later on in this episode. We're going to talk about everything from college dating during a pandemic all the way to fun stuff like how did they cope with being a student athlete during a pandemic. But before we can get to any of that, we're going to dive into some headlines. We're going to kick it to the WNBA. Breanna Stewart of the Seattle Storm was named Sports Illustrated Sportswoman of the Year. This current issue for Sports Illustrated is highlighting athlete activism. And if you follow the WNBA, you know that they led the charge in the Say Her Name campaign. Natasha Cloud, Renee Montgomery, they opted out of playing just so they can have a bigger platform and actually go into the streets and protest and speak. They were basically in the trenches. Maya Moore, I feel like everyone knows her story, but if you don't, she basically halted her career, which included multiple final MVPs and championships. Yeah, she's that woman. But she halted her career to go and fight for social justice and freed a man who was wrongly imprisoned. She did that. Say her name. And then we think about Nneka Ogwumike, the president for the WNBA Players Association. She was honestly the person who really put together everything for the league for the Say Her Name campaign. She was the one who helped with get every team those shirts that have Vote Warnick and ended up getting a Senate runoff for the Senate seat in Georgia. She was the one who was in the talks when the WNBA decided not to play after Jacob Blake was wrongfully shot by police in Kenosha, Wisconsin. Nneka put in a lot of work behind the scenes to really put some fire under the league to help the players and their movement. And then you have Ariel Atkins for the Washington Mystics. She was the one who spoke on behalf of the league when the league decided not to play. Not the league, when the players decided not to play after Jacob Blake was wrongfully shot. None of these players were mentioned. Breanna Stewart, who again, she was a finals MVP and she was honestly clearly the best player in the WNBA right now. Breanna Stewart was the one who received this award. And if this award was just Sportswoman of the Year, I'd be all good with it because honestly, yeah, she's the best player in women's basketball right now. Hands down, there's no debate for that. She just came off of a terrible Achilles injury. She didn't play for a whole year. She had to do rehab, come through, do less conditioning and training camp because of the pandemic, and then came through and put up record numbers in the finals. Like, that's amazing. But this isn't just about sports. This is more than just being an athlete. This is about standing for something. While Breanna Stewart was very vocal and she didn't oppose anything that the WNBA was standing for. She was using her voice properly. She wasn't leading the movement. And the other athletes who were honored with this award across other sports, they were leading a movement. And I would like to say another issue involved is that Breanna Stewart, she's white. We're lifting a white voice when we're talking about Black struggles. It's kind of like the white savior mentality. So when we think about it, and while, of course, Breanna Stewart, this was just basketball, totally deserves it, best player in WNBA. But we're not talking about sports. We're talking about a movement, leading a movement. And those Black women, Renee Montgomery, Natasha Cloud, Nneka Ogwumike, Ariel Atkins, they deserve their flowers in this regard. And unfortunately, they weren't given their flowers. Even though, hey, you got people like me and everyone else on Twitter and in the sports media world, they're giving them their flowers. But Sports Illustrated did come off a bit tone deaf to not include their names or to not just give it to the league as a whole. Moving on, we're going to go ahead into NBA. Draymond Green recently congratulated LeVar Ball and Mr. Holiday on Twitter, saying, shout out to LeVar Ball and Mr. Holiday. 3 sons under contract in the NBA. That's incredible Black men. And of course, he has some Twitter users underneath in the comment section saying, why does it have to be Black and white? We had one user say, seriously, why Black men? These are talented human beings who have accomplished something amazing. Huge congrats in order. Why insist making it skin color or a race thing? We had another user question, what about their moms? And while those are valid questions, and this is why we are here to educate, there is a stigma about Black men and how they are as fathers. There's this whole idea that Black men abandon their children. There was a whole wave on Twitter just in June saying we should abolish Father's Day because there's so many fathers who have left their children and left trauma. And what about the people suffering from trauma inflicted by their fathers? So when we think about those negative connotations around Black men, Black fathers, you have to give credit where credit is due. Yes, this is race because the race, Black men, they are perceived to be absent fathers. It's a common joke. You always there's consistent jokes. Oh my God, you know your dad. So when it comes to a Black dad doing something good, when it comes to a Black dad achieving this feat, with the connotations that's been placed, the stereotypes that's been placed, yes, this is a Black and white thing. We're going to give congrats to LeVar Ball, great Black father. When it comes to, and I know, yes, their mothers had a big part, go moms, all about females, all about my mama. I love my mama, I love my dad. But I was very disgusted when the whole trend of abolish Father's Day was going on. We don't see people say, why do you celebrate Mother's Day? Get rid of Mother's Day. No, that was just for Father's Day. So we're going to give their dad their props. And also, yes, the moms pushed him out. But in the case of LeVar Ball, he was their personal trainer. And he always was in the cameras talking about he'll take a chance on all three of his boys. And to see that come to fruition, I'm just like, congrats to LeVar Ball. Give credit where credit is due. But speaking of credit, giving credit where credit's due, I'm going to kick it over to our guest, Alyssa and Brooke. And today I have two very special guests. I have the captains, who are also freshmen, of Academy of the Arts and Women's Basketball, Brooke Rogers and Alyssa Munn, who I may add are the top freshmen of this class. So before we start, how are you guys doing this fine morning?
I'm doing well. It's bright and early.
Yeah, doing good. We just finished the workout, so I'm up now.
Lord. Is it like a self workout, or is this something with your team?
We did it on Zoom with the team.
Wow. See, 2020, another thing I would not have had on my 2020 bingo card, but here we are. So just to start, as guys, clearly you're captains, you're freshmen. That's not a normal feat to accomplish. So how are you guys adapting to being captains during your freshman year during a pandemic?
I mean, it's definitely an adjustment, everything's pretty much new as far as the level of competition and the position we're at. With COVID, it's been a challenge, but through practice and stuff, I think we're able to show that we are capable of being captains and that we do work hard. So.
Okay. And with being a student athlete right now during COVID-19, clearly I'm assuming you guys have been playing basketball for the longest, with club ball and high school basketball. How have you guys, what's the difference, first off, between normal student athlete life and student athlete life as during COVID-19?
The difference, I kind of say it's a lot more like uncertain. Like we have to go day by day with everything. We're used to like a schedule and routine, knowing when we're going to practice, when we're going to play. And like this year, we kind of have to adjust to the unknown and just, staying motivated to keep going even though we don't know.
So as captains, how are you guys being the voice during those uncertain times for your teammates?
Honestly, in practice, just keeping the energy up. I mean, we're constantly communicating, constantly talking, constantly trying to bring everybody up. Just because we know that it's natural. Everybody's feeling this way. Everybody across the country is going through this. And I guess being the voice even when we don't feel like being the voice, because it's what we need as a team.
Definitely. Were you guys shocked when you were named captains?
I was. Yeah.
That's lit. How did that happen? Did Coach Evans just text you guys? Did she say it in front of the team? Like, how did that process even happen?
I believe she texted us. No, She announced it at practice. So we have been practicing for, I want to say, maybe a week or two. And then following that, she announced it after a practice.
How do you feel the team received you guys being named captains?
It was pretty mutual. They didn't seem to have a problem with it. As far as I know, Coach Evans asked our teammates who would they nominate to be captain. So there was no animosity with the decision.
That is amazing. Okay, so first off, how are you guys working together as freshman captains? How are you supporting each other?
We usually communicate pretty often. I feel like we have a good bond as captains and even outside of that. So if we see something or something gets brought to our attention, we kind of talk about it and then go to the team, make a decision, talk about it and things like that.
Okay. So based on what you guys know about each other on and off the court, what's the nickname you would give each other? I'll start with Alyssa. What nickname would you give Brooke?
Well, she's very clumsy, so I'd probably call her Clumsy.
I want you to know she's the only person that's ever told you that.
But we call her B, we call her Boogie. So, yeah.
Okay.
A nickname? I don't know.
B Boogie?
Oh no.
I really just go by my name.
Yeah,
It's like Alyssa or Liz. That's about it.
About it. Well, we're going to come up with a nickname for you because when you guys are balling during conference play, there's going to have to be a nickname for the announcers for the live stream, especially since we won't have many fans. Got to have a nickname. So right now we're going to move into our first game. Who's more likely to? So since we're not together, when I ask the question, if you think it's you, just point to yourself. If you think it's the other person, which for Alyssa will be Brooke will be Alyssa, just point towards the camera. So you guys don't have to close your eyes. This ain't TikTok. We're not influencers. We're going to start. Who's more likely to eat junk food?
I'm going to say both of us.
Okay, who spends more time on social media? Who's the homebody? Who's more likely to get away with murder? Okay. Who's most likely to fool around during practice?
I don't know. Can we not vote?
Okay, so we ain't got no goofballs. Yikes. But who's most likely to forget their count while running?
I always be asking her.
Yeah.
Okay, who has a better style off the court?
I would say Alyssa. She got some shoe game.
Oh, that's like there. Okay, who's more social?
Alyssa.
I don't know. I don't call myself social, but
You are.
Okay, and last question. Who's more likely to laugh at the wrong moment?
Yeah.
I can see.
she's always laughing.
Into the laugh. I can see that. That is okay. In what ways did you guys cope with losing the second half of your senior year?
Well, I got knocked out, so I didn't really lose much. It was just kind of like I'm getting ready to go to college, so my mindset was like, I need to get prepared, I need to get stronger, I need to get faster. So that was my mindset.
Okay, Brooke?
Yeah, same. As far as the season, we had already kind of lost in the Final Four, so our season was over by the time this happened. But as far as after that, I kind of had to think about things because I wasn't committed yet, so I kind of had to move the pace because it was we didn't know what was gonna happen. So
It's funny, you guys both stuck with basketball, and again, ball is life, but you guys lost graduation. I'm assuming, I know some schools lost prom. Were you guys in that boat?
Yeah.
So was it more you guys didn't really care about prom and all that? You were really just focused on getting ready for the next level? Or like, how did that work out?
For me, graduation, we have virtual graduation and a drive-through, so like I didn't really care about an actual graduation. But as far as prom, I was looking forward to that. But I mean, it didn't happen, so I'm okay with it.
Okay. Brooke?
Yeah, for my graduation, we actually did. It was like groups of 40, and you could only have 2 people attend with you, so it was just my parents. And we did that, like to walk across the stage type of thing. And then for prom, yeah, that was kind of unfortunate. I think it hit my mom a lot harder than it did because I didn't go my junior year because I transferred school. So, like, I didn't know that many people. And I was like, I'll just go senior year. But, you know, you don't really expect something like that to happen. But like Alyssa said, it happened and just got to move on from there.
In the words of our great First Lady, Michelle Obama, it is what it is.
It is what it is.
You know, Brooke, you mentioned that you hadn't committed before the pandemic really hit in America. So I know just off of research and an inside source, you didn't have like an official visit. How did that transpire? Like, how did you end up picking Art U without stepping foot on campus for an official visit?
Honestly, it was really the way Coach Evans kind of, even though that I wasn't able to come on campus and do all the normal things, she still kind of like did everything that she could, so I got the same experience. So we would do like a Zoom tour and things like that, and I kind of would just do the research on my own. And I think it was also, it had the major that I was looking for because it is an art school, what I wanted to do. And it was really just the environment of both of the coaches talking to me, communicating me that no one really did before that. So I really felt like they had my best interest.
Okay. And Alyssa, you've had a relationship with Coach Evans since you were the 3rd grade? And you were coached by Coach Evans once you were in the 7th grade, I believe.
Yeah.
How did that go into your decision on coming to Art U?
I mean, Coach Evans has always been family. And she's just a very independent young woman. And I think my parents ultimately, when she offered, it was a no-brainer for me. I mean, it had my major. Coach Evans was there, and they knew that she would take care of me. And they just felt comfortable just having me in that environment and knowing that I'm going to be looking up to a young woman who's independent and has a voice. And so it was a no-brainer for me.
It's wonderful how you guys both ended up here. I just feel like you both are just perfect for this program. How did the Art U coaching staff help you, and the returners help you in coping with losing your second half of your senior year and transitioning into college? Take your time. No, that one was a mouthful.
Can you say it one more time?
How did the coaching staff and the returners, your current teammates, help you guys in coping with losing the second half of your senior year and then having to transition into college? Now, that was a weird time frame. It was like from March on to June, a lot happened. In what ways did the returners and your coaches really help you guys take everything in and move forward?
One thing I remember kind of shocked me is they sent like a gift from like a graduation gift from Amazon that just had like snacks in it and that kind of thing.
Yeah.
When I saw that, I was like, oh, like this is cute.
Yeah.
I think mostly it was like keeping the energy and just uplifting us and not really focusing on like, oh, we lost something, but let's look at like what we have ahead.
Yeah, I would say the same thing for me. The gifts was a huge part. And I think not bringing it up or not really like saying that we lost something, like Brooke said, kind of helped us move forward and not think about it. You know, it's in the past, so it was kind of like just move forward, and we got better things to take care of.
Okay. Has the transition from high school to college been easy?
With COVID, it's been a little difficult having to be online. With the education part, it's something completely new to my knowledge, and just being thrown into it. But it's been fun.
Yeah, I would agree. Just the online and a lot of kind of the restrictions because of COVID, it's like we don't get the normal experience, like what people are used to. So I think just that adjustment.
Definitely. So again, freshman year, I know my freshman year of college, it was the year of just doing everything I possibly could. So when I think about the current freshmen, I feel so bad because it's like freshman year was probably my best year of college. And I know for you guys, granted, you're athletes, so you have a totally different mind, like totally different experience than what I had. But one thing that was really big for me freshman year was the dating scene. So I have to ask, what's the dating scene like during COVID-19 for a student athlete?
I mean, I have a boyfriend.
Yeah, me too.
Gosh, how is that during how is keeping a relationship during COVID-19?
For me, it's been pretty easy. It's kind of like the mindset of you need to get what you need to do, and I need to do what I need to do to be successful. So, yeah.
For me, the relationship is, I would say, fairly new because we kind of met during COVID and all that. So, but same thing Alyssa said, it's just realizing that there's things I have to do, there's things he has to do. So, and communication. Communication key.
The only relationship I found during COVID-19 was my newfound love for McDonald's. So, Brooke, I'm so happy for you right now. Because that's where me and the Big Mac, we're like in a totally committed relationship every day. But that
Every day.
it's so bad. I went to McDonald's one time and I paid with cash instead of my card. And the worker's name's Parker, that's my buddy. He's like, cash? I thought you don't carry cash, Candy. And I'm like, oh my gosh, I come here too much. The cashier. Yeah. So that is amazing. Brooke, how did you end up in a relationship during a pandemic? I know we're supposed to be social distancing. You have practice, you have class. How are you able to A, get into a relationship, and B, how are you able to just balance everything?
For me, it was kind of towards the beginning more, so I was still home. Like you said, because we weren't supposed to be out. So the first 2 months we just communicated on the phone. So, and then after that, we hung out. We actually played basketball. That's what we did, something outdoors because everything was still closed. So we did that, and then we just kept on hanging out after that. But like you said, balancing it with basketball, working out, I think it's just managing your time and realizing, like we said before, that there's things I have to do that, it's just there.
Yeah, and that's why you're a captain. You're able to do time management better than the average person. So, Alyssa, I know you said you had a boyfriend. I believe, were you guys together prior to the pandemic?
Yeah.
Okay, so, and basically for you guys, has it just been keeping the same energy, or how have you guys balanced being able to keep what you already had going while transitioning into college during the pandemic? Fine.
You talked about transitioning into high school to college, right? It was kind of like you said, keeping the same energy. It was kind of like, I want to see you grow and you want to see me grow. We got to do what we got to do. 4 years is only 4 years, and if it's 5, it's 5. But at the end of the day, everybody wants to be successful, and that's all we want for each other. So
Definitely. Okay. I love to hear that. I love young people being able to actually manage and grow together, because I know I'm not that person. So I'm going to live vicariously. And while I eat my Big Mac today, I'm going to think about you guys. So we're going to finish out with one more game. In this game, I'm going to ask you guys questions. So I'm going to start with Brooke. So I'm going to ask Brooke, I'm going to ask you questions about Alyssa. You're going to answer. Then after you answer, Alyssa's going to give her actual answer. We're going to see if it lines up. Brooke, I'm not just putting you on the spot. It's mainly because Alyssa said clumsy, so now I just feel like I got to start out with you. And you always give me the good laugh, so it's good vibes because I'm not a morning person. So to start, what's Alyssa's favorite quarantine show to watch?
Quarantine show. I feel like I know, like we've talked about this before.
Alyssa,
talked about an anime show,
Yes.
but I don't know what it's called because I don't watch anime, so this is why.
Alyssa, which anime is it?
Well, I've been through 3 shows, so Hunter x Hunter, what's the other one? My Hero Academia, and Attack on Titans.
Okay, Attack on Titans, that's a classic. I'm happy you're cultured, because after middle school, when I went through my whole anime phase, I never left. Everyone, including people in my household, were like teasing me. And then in high school, when it became a big wave,
Right. I'm saying.
it was like,
No, it's cool. And I'm like, what? Why'd you clown me?
like
So like,
wait. But okay, so Brooke, we're still on you. What's Alyssa's cheap food?
cheap food?
Mhm.
Honestly, food, we eat a lot. So,
Yeah, we eat a lot of food.
All of them?
huh?
All of them?
Yeah. We eat Mexican food, wings. I know Liz likes Thai food. I've never had them.
Food? Whatever said Thai food.
You asked
That
me.
was Chanel.
I've like asked to go to a Thai place before. And I was like,
I don't like Thai food.
I don't know, we eat a lot of food.
All of them.
It's like the top thing that we do. Like that's how we hang out.
Yeah, we just eat.
Okay. Well, Brooke, I'm gonna actually give you a point on that one because you were online. So last one, what's a mundane thing that Alyssa does that annoys you? And it doesn't have to be, don't say anything like actually a problem. Just something minor, like raising her hair too much. I know mine with my sister, Coach Evans. My thing is consistently corrects the who and whom. Call it it's whom. It's like sometimes it's who. So what's the mundane thing Alyssa does that annoys you?
I don't know. I don't feel like you really annoy me. Or that you do annoy me.
I'm loving this. Is like so wholesome. I remember high school when I was my co-captain. I believe she plays at Arizona now. Alyssa, you probably know her, Samaje Smith-Williams. If we did anything like this, I would have had like a whole list. Let's a scroll. Just let me tell you. I love that. Okay, so you. So to start, who does Brooke FaceTime?
Okay. Her boyfriend.
That's easy.
Brooke, is that true?
All the time.
Dang. See, that's an
She'll be
upgrade.
talking in the elevator and I'll be like, huh? She'll be like, oh, sorry. I'm talking to my boyfriend. I'm like, sorry.
Okay, I swear, like freshman year, the person I talked to the most was my mom. So
I talk to my mom too, but not as much.
okay, so what's Brooke's bad habit if she has one?
Her bad habit. She like does this rasp in her when she like doesn't like something.
No,
Like when she sighs, it's like raspy. I can't do it. I don't know how to do it.
Brooke, can you give us the rasp? I just need to hear it. The world wants to hear it. The world wants to know.
Are you talking about when I
She goes
like
like this all the time. Where she goes like that.
this?
Yeah.
I do that.
Lord, okay. Last question. Alyssa, what article of clothing does
Okay.
Brooke wear too much?
Her Crocs.
Oh, you're into the Crocs game.
You're not?
See, I'm bougie. I wear Birks. I'm bougie.
I don't. I have my Birks too. I got my Birks.
Me bougie. I'm Birks and Uggs.
We have to get both of you on the Crocs game. I
No.
love it. I tell you.
Sorry. It's kind of like the anime thing. Like, it's hot now, but in the past, it was not.
No.
They're just comfortable. Like you just put them on and you go.
I don't even like. I feel like your reaction already made. I know Alyssa's very correct, but
She has so many.
Only one. We're trying to get her to come to the Croc gang.
We're trying to make it a team shoe because everybody has them.
Oh, Lord. Word. You
I
know,
said only on game days.
Okay, we can start there. I'm down with that.
I would love that because I would love to see your coach in Crocs.
Right.
Not red. She doesn't deserve red.
She doesn't deserve it.
Ooh, pink.
Pink.
Yeah,
She
pink.
would kill us. She
I-
wouldn't wear it. She'd give them to you.
Oh, definitely. I mean, they make sure they're cute at least. But I'm serious. That's just something to slip in. Make them pink, or she has to wear it because it's for the team.
You're right.
But yeah, don't listen to me. Don't listen to me. That's
I didn't hear it.
Don't dismiss the idea. Actually, that'll be. I'm not gonna have Crocs at all. So we're towards the end. Of course, I want to thank you guys for being on. But before we go, I want to ask Brooke, can you tell me about Boogie's blog? I was stalking your social media and I came across it. I want to ask you, can you just give the audience a quick rundown of what Boogie's blog is?
Yes. So Boogie's blog, it was actually inspired by Coach Crystal. Like when I first came out, she was like, I want you to start a blog since writing is my major. Like basically just a day in a life of student athlete while during, a pandemic. So that's basically what Boogie's blog is. I have 2 posts currently. The first one is about just moving in, and the second one is about adjusting. I will be working on the 3rd this week, so that should be up pretty soon.
Lit. So yeah, everyone can check out Boogie's blog. We will have the link to it in the bio. And I want to again thank our 2 amazing guests for joining us today, and everyone else, you can head back to see us back here same time next week. This was Hoops and Chill. It's been real.